If you're here, chances are you're in the thick of what we call the 4-month sleep regression, or maybe you're just trying to get ahead of it. Either way, don't worry, I've got you covered. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rena from Sweet Dream Sleep, a pediatric sleep consultant and a mum. I for sure have been through my fair share of sleep challenges with my daughter when she was a baby, and so I'm really here for all of you watching today. Today, I want to talk about the 4-month sleep regression, what this phase is, how long it lasts for, and most importantly, how you can manage it and come out the other side. So please grab a cuppa and let's get right into it. So, what exactly is the 4-month sleep regression? So, the 4-month sleep regression often gets a really bad rep, but I want you to know that it's actually a progression. It's a time where permanent changes occur in your baby's sleep. So, up until now, your newborn has only had 2 sleep stages, light sleep and deep sleep, and they haven't been controlled by the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm develops around now, and somewhere between 3 and 5 months, your baby's sleep develops and matures into more adult-like sleep cycles. So now your baby will have multiple sleep stages, and as they move between these stages, there is a chance that they may wake up. And this is why you may suddenly feel like your baby, who used to sleep pretty well, is now waking up a lot more frequently. And this is because they're actually noticing these transitions in their sleep cycles for the very first time. So, how do you know if your baby is going through the 4-month sleep regression? Every baby is different, but here are some really common signs of the 4-month sleep regression. You might notice your baby struggling to fall asleep at bedtime or waking up a lot more than they previously used to during the night, sometimes every hour or two. Some babies might do this throughout the night, and another really common sign you may notice is that your baby may sleep really well in the first half of the night and then wake up significantly more after midnight. Another sign you may notice is that your baby's naps may be frustratingly short. You may just have gotten them down and barely sat down, and then they're up again. Some of you might notice that the way that you've been getting your baby to sleep just isn't working any longer. Maybe you've been rocking your baby to sleep, feeding them to sleep, holding them, and it's worked really well in that newborn phase. But suddenly it's just not working as efficiently now. Maybe you're rocking for longer, feeding more, and repeating this over and over again all night. And you might be noticing that it just isn't keeping them asleep for as long as it used to, or that it's just not sustainable for you any longer. If any of these signs sound familiar, you really aren't alone. This phase can feel so exhausting, but I promise you that it will pass. So, how long does it last? The tricky thing is, because this is a permanent change to your baby's sleep, there isn't a fixed end to the progression itself. However, the disruptions will usually last anywhere from a couple of weeks to around 6 weeks. And after that, things generally do start to settle as your baby adjusts to their new sleep patterns. Now, let's talk about what you can do to help your little one and yourself through this phase. So, make sure that the room in which your baby sleeps is pitch black. I do find it easier to do this by having blackout blinds and blackout curtains. The point of having a really dark room is to help with the release of melatonin in the evenings, especially now that your baby's circadian rhythm is developing. And also, it's much less stimulating than a brightly lit room, which will help your baby to settle to sleep. I don't recommend having cot mobiles. These can be really stimulating, and some of them have light features, which we really don't want to have for sleep time. I would also recommend using white noise for your baby's sleep. It has so many benefits. It will act as a consistent sleep cue for your baby. It can also mimic the sound of the womb and mask external sounds that could otherwise wake them. Just be sure to play the white music for the full duration of all their sleep, so for the whole night and for the duration of your baby's naps too. Also, remember that the optimal room temperature for safer sleep is between 16 and 20 degrees Celsius. Now, if you haven't started a bedtime routine for your little one, this is a perfect time to do so. You want to keep the bedtime routine consistent and calm. Even just a short wind down routine like a bath, book, and a lullaby can be so helpful. There's so much research now around how having a regular, consistent bedtime routine can really help sleep. Now that your baby is past the newborn phase, you might see more of a pattern in your baby's naps. They also now may need more awake time. So although wake windows aren't an exact science, just have a gauge of age appropriate wake windows as well as learn your baby's sleepy cues. Sometimes your baby might not have built enough sleep pressure, which can then possibly result in them having cat naps. So maybe they just need a little bit more awake time if this is the case. If your baby wants rocking or holding to sleep, for example, that's perfectly fine. But if you're finding it exhausting and unsustainable, try gradually reducing the level of support each night. So, for example, you could go from rocking your baby to eventually cuddling them and then gradually settling your baby in their cot. If your baby is waking up after one sleep cycle, say 30 to 45 minutes, just try waiting a moment. Sometimes they just need a chance to settle back down to sleep. And most importantly, please do remember the Lullaby Trust advises that baby should always be in the same room as you for at least the first 6 months of sleep, day and night. Now, I know that this phase can feel never ending, but I do promise that it is just a phase. Your baby is learning so much, and this is such a big developmental leap for them. Just with a little bit of patience, consistency, and possibly some gentle adjustments, they'll come through this, and so will you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear how things are going for you and answer any questions that you have. Hang in there, you're doing an amazing job. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.